Hey guys, welcome back to Not So Popular Opinion. Modern women online today seem to glorify all the negative traits that any man could possibly be looking for in a mate. They never glorify anything positive, not morals or values. They seem to love to glorify obesity and now even prostitution. If you don't believe me, check this out.
Get ready with me as I tell you guys how I met my fiance. Disclaimer, if you're against selling that cat and putting a price on your kitty, I suggest you exit, because over here, we got a price, baby, okay? I am just doing the final touches on my makeup because honestly, I filmed this video and then I was like, oh, let me film it again. People come on my comments all the time and they're like, be honest, you were out selling that cat and that's how you met him. And I was, because I have no shame in having a price on my kitty cat. So I met my now fiance at one of my favorite hotel bars that I used to go to in Boston. I was actually waiting for my friend because she and I were gonna go a little bar hopping. So as soon as I walked in and sat down, I think I was sitting down for probably like 2 minutes. He walks in with his guy friend. Immediately they walk up to me. First thing he said was, can I buy you a drink? Take notes, ladies. That is how a gentleman approaches a woman sitting at the bar. He didn't ask me my name. He didn't ask me what I did for a living. He didn't ask any of those things. He just asked me what I wanted to drink. And the bartender was making our drinks. I excused myself to the ladies' room and I wanted him to see my legs because my legs were out and I was looking good, okay? And when I came back, the sitting arrangements had changed because originally his friend was sitting next to me and he was sitting on the other side to his friend. And when I came back from the bathroom, him and his friend had exchanged seats. So I obviously caught game because I'm like, okay, so obviously he really likes me, which is fine because he was the one that was swiping the card. Then at this point, my friend walks in, he offers to buy my friend a drink, and you know, we're hanging out, we're getting to know each other, and at the end of the night, he asks me if I want to come back to his place. And obviously, I told him it was gonna cost him because I'm sorry, you just met me. So if you're gonna assume I'm going to be a hoe that gets paid. I'm not a free hoe. And he told me that, you know, that wasn't something that he does, and he doesn't carry, you know, that amount of cash on him. But he then proceeds to tell me that he would still like to get to know me and take me out to dinner one day. Most men are threatened by women that have a price on their kitty. So I was actually surprised to hear him say he would still like to take me out to dinner, even though I turned him down or told him that it was gonna cost him some coins if I was to go home with him. When I gave him my number, I did not really think that he was going to like actually reach out. A week later, he reached out and he asked me out to dinner on our first date. Keep in mind, he met me during my birthday month. We met like 3 weeks before my actual birthday, and for my actual birthday, I was going to Morocco. We went on our first date, and then we went on our second date a week before I was supposed to leave for Morocco. So he already, you know, asked me out for our third date, but because it was my birthday month, I told him that I wasn't gonna go on a third date with him unless he was gonna have a gift for me, because it's my birthday month. You are courting me, you want to take me out, you want to spend time with me. What do I look like spending time on my birthday month with a man who's not gonna buy me a gift? And once again, he wasn't offended by that, and he said of course he could do that on our third date. So we went out to eat, and then he was like, would you like to go back to my place? On this day, I said, of course. Also, my gift was at his house. I wanted to see what the gift was. So we go to his house. He got me this cute Louis Vuitton purse with this Chanel perfume. Also a basket filled with like masks, chocolate, little things that girls like. Like, he literally put a lot of thought into it, and I was like, that is so sweet. And then he wanted to kiss me, and I was like, baby, relax. Hold on, we need to talk about it. I was like, what are we doing? And so he then proceeded to ask me to be his girlfriend, But like I said, I was thotting and bopping. So I had a roster of men that were taking care of me, paying my bills, buying me nice things, taking me on vacation. So I told him that there was no way I could give him exclusiveness unless he was willing to take care of everything that these other guys were taking care of, which was my bills, my, car, everything. And once again, he wasn't threatened by it.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
And he agreed, said, of course, that's something that he can do. I then was like, okay, I'm going to be your girlfriend. And so then I became a stay-at-home girlfriend, and I didn't have to go out and thot and bop anymore, because I had him paying my bills. At the time I had my own place. He had his own place. We did not start really living together until after we got engaged. And even after we got engaged, I still lived in my own place for a while. You guys like to hear the story about how I got him to propose to me? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, that is how I met my now fiance. The moral of the story is, don't let anybody tell you that your past is going to determine your future. And a man that really loves you is going to love you regardless of what you did and the mistakes that you made in the past.
So, first off, don't believe any of this. Men will always care about your past, because most people don't learn from their past. They are doomed to repeat it. So a man can learn a lot from the person that you claim you used to be. She met this guy while sitting at her favorite bar, selling her kitty. Women, do you really want to learn life lessons from a prostitute? Because I don't think you do. This is not Pretty Woman. To where you know what? I've never seen that movie because the concept to me is extremely stupid. So I don't know what Richard Gere's character was in that movie, whether he was some, stockbroker, governor, whatever it is. No man worth his weight is going to flip a literal hoe into a housewife. I don't know why you would think that this is real. This is like fool's gold. For real, there's no lessons to be learned from this. This woman has no value in herself. And if she really was engaged to some man with a bunch of money who would be doing all this for her, do you really think that she would not have her giant ring on her finger at all times? Of course you would. This woman is a liar. On another note, she tried to make it seem like later on in the video that the only reason she put a price tag on her kitty, as she calls it, is because he wanted to take her home on the first night. No, you already had a price in mind. What are you talking about? Quit changing the story. Either you proud of being a hoe or you not. But don't try to flip it in the middle of it. We all know what's going on. This woman is a liar. Don't take tips or believe the story of a liar. Then she was foolish enough to leave her drink unattended. Another reason you shouldn't be taking tips from a two. She's lying about, the reason and why she put a price on it. She's lying about being engaged. She's lying about her hair, because we can see the underlying grays underneath that terrible wig. And if that ain't a wig, then I really need to pay more attention to women's hair, because I can't seem to figure out what's a wig and what's not. But another huge red flag for me is anybody that says birthday month. You got a birthday, not a month. Nobody is celebrating anybody for an entire month. But you know what? Who am I to say that this is all cap? This is all lies. The evidence suggests it's lies, but who am I to say? A fool and his money, as they say, So if this dummy does exist and he's willing to go out on 3 dates with this woman and not have intercourse with a clear prostitute, you know what? I ain't never been with a prostitute. I hope any woman that I've ever talked to or been involved with, it was a lot. I've said it before. I was what I was back in the day. Hopefully none of them was prostitutes, because I definitely didn't give them no cash for it. You'd have to be a goddamn fool paying a woman for sex. I'd rather do the 5-knuckle shuffle than pay a woman to pay me some attention and have sex with me. It is not gonna happen. I ain't never been that hard up and been that sad and pathetic.
But you'll get no pussy.
Fuck it. You don't understand. Is I make love to my hand. So I don't need you, honey. I beat my dick like it owes me money.
I have a theory on this. Just a theory. She believes that she came up on something in her imaginative tale about, being this prostitute swept off her feet by this rich man. And I'm pretty sure he's old and wrinkly. So she's hoping he's going to pass on soon. But what she doesn't realize is that his kids and his real wife is going to come after that money before she gets her little grubby hands on it. Because that's how it plays out. If anybody is listening to this for valid advice, you are lost. You are truly lost. This woman can't teach you nothing. None of those, the sprinkle lady, this lady, none of these women can teach you anything. Because you know what? If we've learned anything from the whole Cassie situation, and that's a whole nother, that's a whole nother thing. Or say, for instance, Vince McMahon, the, previous owner of the WWE, when they are involved in these so-called relationships with these women, you see what they put them through. Vince McMahon supposedly took a dump on this lady's chest with his homeboy in the room, and then passed her off to his homeboy while I'm convinced still covered in his feces. And this is what she done for money. So, same to those women that fly over to Dubai. The horror stories is they doing stuff to camels, and these people want them to do all kind of weird stuff. That's what happens when you live fast, loose, and dirty, and you think you got you a high value man or high dollar man who's gonna take care of you and all of the crap. You don't go from prostitute to PTA meeting wife within normal lifestyle. You don't. And that's people need to be real about that. This is all fantasy land. This doesn't happen, trust me. If she had a fiance, if she had this giant rock, because this man's got so much money to where he's buying all these fancy stuff, treating her all nice and blah 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 blah, she'd be showing that thing off. She'd be showing off her mansion right now, all this other stuff that she has, but she's giving makeup tutorials in a horrible wig. Hey, I guess if you want to believe it, you can. Let's check out some of these comments. First comment here says, "I'm so glad you selling it. Some of us are giving it for free. You go, girl." She needs to go to the free clinic and get tested. This person here responds, "I'm telling you, and not getting anything out of it at all." So the last person here says, "So real, girl. Giving it in the name of love is giving it for no purpose. Watch out, fellas. They don't even believe love is real. They believe falling for someone, being actually connecting with this person is not a reason. They'd rather you just pay them up front and pass them on to your boy. Next comment here says, it ain't tricking if you got it. Men will either be with it or not. We just gotta stand on business, know our worth, and make them earn our time and hearts. Happy for you. You know what? I'm already sick of this phrase, stand on business. It is barely early, late January, and I'm already sick of the term stand on business. You know what? Y'all gotta stop clinging on these catchphrases and just running with it, because you make yourself sound stupid. This is not standing on business. Nothing about this should be glorified or looked at as a goal. Paying a woman to spend time with you is not earning her heart. There is nothing equivalent about that. How is buying someone's time earning their heart? And it is tricking, even if you got it. That ain't what tricking is about. Anytime you pay a woman to spend time with you or to give you her kitty is tricking. I don't care if you're a billionaire or a trillionaire. It is what it is. If you want to go off a Chris Brown lyric, let's also go with these hoes ain't loyal then. This woman here says, I'm gonna try it. If I die, I die. Oh man, this is pathetic. This is pathetic. If you die, you die. You can put as many laughing emojis as you want on this. This is clearly pathetic. So it is worth risking your life for somebody to pay you for some sex? This woman here says, you left your drink to be unattended. Of course you did. But as a prostitute, sadly, that is the least of her worries. That is the least of her worries. Person here says, 1K an hour is still low. My baby is magical for... This woman really believes that her vagina is worth $1,000 an hour. I bet you this woman ain't never made $1,000 in an hour on anything ever. Not even on selling anything. Especially not that thing. All right. If some fool is gonna pay you $1,000 for that, when he could have had 1,000 women for $50 each, or he could have had a whole bunch of women like I had back in the day for free. Come on. You believe that old musty, dusty, dirty thing is worth $1,000 an hour? Somebody done lied to you. This person here says, yep, no romance without finance. 1,000 women like this. What is romantic about somebody paying you to spend time with them? What is romance? What's romantic about that? Has the meaning of romance been lost to time? I thought it was about, spending time together, lighting some candles, putting on some soft music, a little dinner, nice conversation, holding hands, slow dancing, that kind of thing. But no, it's, apparently it's throwing $50 on the table and telling her to get under it. That's the new romance. That's the new romance, I guess. Fellas, try and let me know if it's romantic or not. Women, if y'all find it romantic, let me know. Maybe there's something I'm missing out on, I guess. I just throw 20 at my wife and be like, here, do your thing. I'm joking, of course. This lady here says, I'd be ashamed if I didn't get anything in return. I'm a long-term investment, honey. Woman, you a long life of stress and wasted money and opportunity. It's about all you are in the long term. This creator says, right, I'd rather walk away knowing I got something out of it. I hope whatever you got out of these transactions, you didn't pass on to somebody else. Because you probably crawling with them. Last person here says, love a good Cinderella story. And this fool responds, he pretty woman me expeditiously. What in... How? I've seen Cinderella maybe twice to 3 times in my life, but I never remember the scene of Cinderella standing on the street corner when the prince rolled up and threw $100 at her, and she jumped in the car and started giving him some head. Do y'all remember that part? I don't remember that. Since when is the movie Pretty Woman the love story to be expecting out of life? Since when is Pretty Woman the standard? People online make fun of women for, believing in Cinderella stories. But when they begin to equate Pretty Woman to the story of Cinderella, man, we got bigger issues. For real. The sisterhood is failing. There's nothing romantic about this story. There's nothing sweet about this story. There's nothing loving about this story whatsoever. She is happy to sell her body for money. And then actually but foolish enough to believe that one man is going to come along and sweep her off her feet. You have just become one of many other that this old wrinkly man is throwing a little money at to have sex with on the low. Because when he's away on business and he away from his wife and kids, he just needs something to dump a load on. He need a cum dumpster, and you just happen to be the one in Boston. That's all this is. Always remember, fellas, that one of life's most important lessons when dealing with women is you cannot turn a hoe into a housewife. It is not said just as a joke. It is real. Why would you want to turn a literal hoe into a housewife? What do you think is that? How do you think that's going to benefit you? She's not going to, all of a sudden change her ways and become this, this decent, loving, caring, respectable woman. She's not. She's not made for that. She doesn't know how to. She's not going to be the, the woman you want at your side in business meetings and around your friends, raising your children. What is she going to teach them, especially your daughters? How to be just like she used to be? No, you don't want that for your children. You don't want that for yourself. Respect yourself enough to know that there is a huge difference between being a responsible, loving husband and looking out for your wife and taking care of her than paying for her attention and sex. They are not one and the same.
You ain't lying.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as always, I love to hear what you think. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting, and checking out another episode of Not So Popular Opinion. I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.